Hello, everyone. Welcome to the DBL Finals. Um, I'm G Wood.
And I am Fike.
Cool, and we're going to go through it here. As per usual, this is being recorded. So the four teams that we're going to be taking a quick look at are OKC, Houston, Indiana, and Atlanta. This is I believe, second conference finals meeting between Indiana and Atlanta, as they basically dominated the East in the Western Conference. Uh, let's be real. Everyone knew OKC was going to be here going into the season. But Houston, they've made some moves, and up and down last two seasons, but this team is promising, frankly, for a 7 seed. So we'll start again. Uh, Mikey, do you want to explain this?
All right, so here are the betting odds. Currently, Vegas has the Pacers up 2.5. This is the betting order, so they think this will only go up to 6 games. So if you bet under, meaning going that would mean that you have the Pacers winning in either 5 or 4, and this would mean you have the Pacers winning in 6 or 7.
All right. Next up here, we have OKC versus Houston. Fikey?
All right, so this right here is saying that OKC is most likely going to win in 4 games, and if it's not 4 games, then you pretty much win.
Let's be real. OKC, they're great. They are one of the best teams in league history. I mean, they're basically the DBL equivalent of the Warriors. This is what happens when Durant and Westbrook stay together. So, what else to expect? So, speaking of Oklahoma City, they're on way to the first three-peat in DBL history if they can win this series and then win in the finals. KD and Westbrook are great. This team doesn't really have too many weaknesses. I mean, their starting five, with the exception of Darren Collison, is all former All-Stars. Do you think of Greg Monroe and Serge Ibaka?
So for me, Greg Monroe, you have to beat him. If you can beat Greg Monroe, that is your only key, because you're not going to be able to stop Westbrook. You're not going to be able to stop Durant. If you can stop them from winning down low, then you have a chance. If not, it's over.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Kevin Love is the X factor of the series, because it's going to be him versus Greg Monroe for who wins. Because LeBron Durant, they're going to put up their points, they're going to get their stats, they're going to be consistent. And Rondo Westbrook is going to be the same. But Greg Monroe is the weak link in this OKC team. He's great, but can he actually out physical, out muscle, and most importantly, outplay the dominating Kevin Love? He's had a great 2 seasons in Houston. Going to be a really interesting matchup. So, speaking of Houston, LeBron James is dominant. King James in his prime. Houston gave up a lot in Zach LaVine, who was on pace for a borderline Rookie of the Year season, and was even at one point in MVP odds. And they're out here trading him for an aging LeBron. What do you think of that move? Do you think it paid off in the end? Do you think this is going to be a worth it long-term move, or do you think that Cleveland fleeced them?
Well, speaking that they gave away Levine, who is currently looking like the future for the Cleveland Cavaliers, I just don't see how this is a great move, especially with LeBron James being 31 and he has a deal coming to the end in, I believe, 2 years.
He has a 2-year deal, I
If
believe.
they don't win a chip here, then it was a terrible trade.
Yeah, I think that in basketball, you have to look, and 1 out of 30 teams win the championship. If it's Houston this year, then I think they won the trade. Got ring. If they don't win a ring with LeBron, this trade could go down as one of the worst in DBL history, not because they got fleeced, but because of how great Levine could be. So
Exactly.
now we're going to talk about Indiana. They lost in 7 in a horrible fashion last season. Never really had a chance in Game 7. They were so inconsistent throughout the season last year, and even this year, Lance would have months where he would average 25 points per game, and then have a month where he'd average 8. He's incredibly inconsistent. Finished the season with great statistics, but can he be the second star that Indiana needs? What do you think about it?
I don't really know. I mean, you have to wonder what's going on with the Pacers management when they gave him that lofty contract. It just does not make sense.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. There's also a chance he could potentially get moved in the offseason. And I think the Pacers GM needs to get a hold of himself. Here we got Atlanta. They are led by a 41-year-old absolute legend. He was in the Sixth Man of the Year voting this year. And frankly, he's an animal at 41.
23 PER.
Yeah, 23. Do you guys think, Fikey, tell me, do you think this team has a chance next year with a 42-year-old Nash, I think 30-year-old, maybe 31-year-old Al Horford, and an aging Josh Smith, or do you think this is the last dance for this Atlanta team, their last chance to win a ring?
I have sources inside of Steve Nash's management team telling me that if they do not win the chip this year, it's it. He's done.
Wow.
That's just a rumor going around. That is not
Yeah, just a rumor, but never know. It's going to be an interesting offseason for Atlanta. So now we're going to um, we're going to go through and we'll see who wins. Um, so uh, right now, if you guys take a look, you should be able to see um, OKC Houston versus Indiana Atlanta. Now, a quick injury check, we'll see that, frankly, Indiana has been devastated with injuries to their front court, losing their starting power forward and center, and their backup power forward who was looking promising, all with career-altering injuries. But other than that, there's no major injuries to report. Houston has Marcin Gortat, who I believe came over from Boston. Yep, he came over from Boston this year. But with the exception of him, they're perfectly um, healthy team. So let's take a look. Game one. Fikey, is the resolution pretty good for you?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, cool. Here we go. So game one, Atlanta takes the lead against Indianapolis, and Oklahoma City takes the win over against Houston. Take a look at Indianapolis is game log while Fikey here puts the results up on Discord. So
Oh
what
no.
you'll see is,
This.
but you can't do that.
I wasn't ready, but I'll just boot up Discord.
Okay. You'll see John Jenkins had a great game, along with Al Horford having a solid game. And of course, the consistent man himself, Steve Nash, with 13 and 7 performance off the bench. Um, and Atlanta takes game one against Indianapolis. Or Indiana. That's absolutely crazy. Um, it's gonna be interesting to see who wins. Meanwhile, uh, a great game from Kevin Durant as he downs the Rockets. I think you pointed out, Greg Monroe came off the bench in this game for 10, 7, and 4. And that play, it's interesting on their lineup setup here, but with Darrell Arthur having a great season, moving a Six-Man of the Year candidate into starting role,
Yeah,
um,
I get
it's,
that.
it's surprising, but
You just talked about the size advantage that you have when Kevin Love is the center.
yeah, it's a very perplexing move, but it worked. So we'll see, and as we go into game two, of
Can I just say one last thing on Atlanta?
course,
That was an amazing win. The fact that they won in, I believe, it was some form of dominating fashion, that
it
shows
was a pretty
how
solid game.
real they are.
Winning 101 to 98 or 89, my bad, which was
Josh
98.
Jenkins,
Um,
that's a pretty good game for him.
John Jenkins has established himself as the future of this franchise. Yes, Dang, Smith, Horford, Nash, they're all a year older. John Jenkins is a year older, and they might have found a replacement for Joe Johnson. So here we'll go into game two. Wow, Rubio going down for Indiana. They are now in a 2-0 hold. A just great team performance. Nash with 15 assists off the bench. And with Rubio going down, this Indiana team is awfully thin. They will have Roy Hibbert in 2 games, but he might already be done by then. They might be down 3-0. And this is to say this team is just a failure of depth. Paul George with a 23, 10, 6, 5, 4 stat line, and they still can't pull off the win. We are seeing historic performance here. Meanwhile, if we go look in the Houston series, we are seeing did I pull that up? Just great game from LeBron, but it's not enough. they fall once again to the crazy scoring of Durant, and right off the bench, like he called this year, Greg Monroe, 18 and 7. Yes, he's on the bench. That don't matter. He is making an impact where it counts. Um, so here we go into game 3. Wow. Indiana has found themselves in a colossal hole to the aging Atlanta Falcons. Indiana down 0-3, potentially going to bust this game. And yeah, it's quite insane. Um,
Yeah, I'm getting worried about the Pacers here. Can they
yeah,
get back here?
absolutely devastating. I think this is the end of LeBron. I think he is going to be knocked here. We're gonna try to speed it up a little bit because I know you got something going on. So here we yeah, absolutely shattering performance. Kevin Love really struggling, and once again, I think it's just their depth up front is what's giving OKC the win here. All right, going to game 4. Wow, Atlanta will sweep Indiana in the playoffs. Great game by Paul George, but it's not enough. Also seen a great game from Saric and Glenn Davis, but ultimately you can't outdo it. Al Horford, Steve Nash, they're going to the NBA Finals. The most unlikely NBA Finals appearance, in my opinion. I know Houston, they're now down, or they're down 3-1. It's going to be interesting. So we'll get going to the next game, right? And there we go. Our finals matchup: OKC versus Atlanta. Mikey, who you got winning this one?
I have I have the Oklahoma City Thunder in a sweep. I'm sorry, Steve, but
Yeah,
it's
I'm gonna be a little more generous here. I got OKC in 4.5. I'll give them half odds. Might make it to game 5. Let's see. We're gonna do live sims here, but we're gonna put it on max speed because I don't think this is going to be particularly close. But yeah, we're already looking at a complete blowout. They have like a 20-point lead. Yeah, 28-point victory. On Jenkins just 2 of 11. And Kevin Durant too hot to handle. And this is just going to be an absolute trouncing. We'll go to game 2 here, but I don't know if anyone can stop this OKC team. They're going to probably pick up.
I'm already putting in the Oklahoma City Thunder win the chip.
Yeah, I mean, a 20-point game again. John Jenkins had a great game, which is cool, but Serge Ibaka with 31 just killing him. Oh my God, this this is
The real
just
question is, does this make a game 5?
yeah. Will we get a game 5? We might hear Atlanta is up. Atlanta was up. Atlanta they they are up. Atlanta might do it. They
Come
might
on,
do it.
Atlanta, give us a game
Come
5.
on, come on, just win
No.
one. Oh, they
Oh,
won! Josh Smith on a free throw. All right, Josh Smith, the hero of Game 3. Wow, what an exciting game! Josh Smith with the victory. All right, now let's give OKC this championship.
just take the chip now.
I mean, it's actually Atlanta is up. I would be pretty hype if Atlanta wins, but
Yo,
like, oh my God, what? Atlanta with 2 straight. This is just incredible. Josh Smith having another great game. Atlanta doesn't want to die. But you know what? I still got OKC in 6.
I got OKC and C.
This is just such a lopsided matchup. Like I'm rooting for Atlanta here, but let's be real. They don't have a chance. They
Here
are
it comes.
pretenders. Um yeah, not even close. OKC silencing the doubters with a good performance. This would be a great choking position. OKC up 3-2, but we'll get to see it. Uh let's give OKC that championship trophy. And
Repeat.
yeah, three-peat. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, that's yeah. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Well-deserved three-peat. We're going to do a quick season summary. Then there will be an award show on Discord, but we're also going to do the draft lottery right now. So quick season summary sees Hype, Paul George winning MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, also going to Paul George. Sixth Man of the Year going to Nolan Smith on Utah. Derek Favors with a great season winning Most Improved Player. Utah could be dangerous next year. Doug McDermott winning Rookie of the Year, well-deserved. Unfortunately, Oklahoma City picks up their third straight ring, starting DBL off hot. Congratulations, JJ. You probably deserve GM of all time. Paul George would be the leader of the first team. You'll be able to see Derrick Rose and Chris Paul also snuck in there with Steph Curry. Very guard-heavy team. The second team, congrats to Schroeder and Jennings, who had phenomenal seasons. Somehow Dwight Howard sneaks in on there. No real surprise on the third team by Andrew Bynum. We're seeing peak Bynum. That's pretty hype. Rookie of the Year running was very interesting with Sean Kilpatrick. I believe he was a second or undrafted free agent. Noah Vonleh, Zach LaVine, Alfred Payton, and Doug McDermott have been on there all season. McDermott having a great year before his injury. Frankly, I'm excited for the fact that he won it despite his injury. But LaVine was an absolute phenomenal season, very contested. We'll see that Shaquille O'Neal will re-retire. Jason Kidd finally retiring as well. Golden State's losing Allen Iverson after a great season. And Manu Ginobili finally retiring from San Antonio. Legendary Sean Marion, Richard Hamilton, both also retiring, having been great members of the Pistons and Suns teams of the early 2000s. Pedro retiring along with Steven Jackson, and Lamar Odom's doing too much cocaine. So, with that, we go to the draft lottery. So, Peggy, if Philly doesn't get the draft lottery, who do you got winning the lottery? Who's your second team?
It
I
has
think
to be the Denver Nuggets. I mean,
yeah,
they have two odds to get the first pick, the only team in the draft that can do
yep,
that.
you're right.
So I would, if I was smart, I would bet it on Denver.
He's going for Denver here. So I want to take a real quick look at the draft, and we'll just see. Becky, this is a pretty interesting draft. Um, Across the board, you have some great prospects. The top 5 picks are pretty stacked in this draft class. I don't know what order I would even say these guys are going to go in. I want to say Towns going number 1, but it very well could be Okafor, Russell, or Porzingis. Who do you think deserves to go number 1?
I think it really depends on the team. If you have a team that really needs a center, let's say the Denver Nuggets, they will most likely be taking a Kristaps Porzingis or a Karl Anthony Towns.
All right, there we go. Hearing it straight from one of the GMs. Now let's do this lottery. So all right, no surprises yet. We get a surprise, just as I say that. Portland, the first overall pick will go to Philadelphia, with the second overall pick to Portland, and third overall going to Denver. It's going to be a very interesting draft order. Orlando picking 4, Minnesota at 5, 6 going to Dallas, and I think that will pull us in. So as we sim to the draft, and then we shall release the export. Congratulations to Philadelphia on pick number 1, and good luck to everyone. And we'll be having the draft. We'll probably do it, I want to say, tomorrow or Monday. All right. Thank you.